YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 24. Of course, I am one of your hosts, Dantes, and joining me, the man himself, Caleones Odyssey. How you doing, Caleones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And yeah, we went through a couple of things that we had to fix on here, but we're finally up and running, and hopefully everything will go without a hitch from now on. So we got plenty of news as well. So go ahead and take it away, Dantes.
So the first question, like always, what have you been playing, Caleones?
Of course, yesterday and today it's been the Splatoon 2 Splatfest. So I've been, getting together with, a couple of people from the team. So if you see, Dig, he currently came in, so he's one of them that has been playing with us. Toast has been, chatting and helping out as well. So thank you, Toast. And yeah, just having fun with Splatoon 2. Of course, before that, more Super Mario Odyssey and just getting through the different stages and things like that. So those have been the two top ones.
Of course, I know you've been playing a lot of Splatoon because you've been doing the Splatfest, where Caleones is all about that fantasy. I'm just saying fantasy as in, Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Don't get your head off yourselves. Just saying.
Well, actually, I got to clarify something. When I was on the podcast, I said I was going to choose Team Fantasy. But at the end of the day, I ended up going with Sci-Fi because most of our subscribers play. Yeah, they are on Team Fantasy, so that way we could play all together on the same team.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's how much I know about Splatfest, because when you were streaming last night for Splatfest, I was drinking and I came out drunk and I go like, "What in the hell is this? Is Caleones streaming right now?" And that was me last night. But anyway, I still survived. What I've been playing is Mario Odyssey, and that's what we want to get into. We're going to switch it up today. We're moving stuff around because we want to hit the review hard. But before we do the review, let's do that sweet rigmarole. I want to welcome everybody to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 24, right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also, please remember, if you don't want to see our ugly faces, it's all good. We got a solution for you. Go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. Rate us over there so you can show off some love. Also, we do have a Facebook page called at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to shigerosnews.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, Caleones, are you ready? I said, are you ready? For the no one in attendance and the, let me see quickly here, and the 6 people watching around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's News Center.
My body is ready.
My body's ready. Go ahead, Caleones. Well, I said that I was going to switch it around. I still went and did the news first. I'm messed up. It's all good.
So we're going to talk about the review first. Guess Super Mario
part
Odyssey.
Of the news. It's part of Reggie's News Corner today. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So anyway, the first piece of news is we're going to talk about Mario Odyssey. We're finally doing the review. We play it enough. I 100%ed it. Caleones is still trying to beat the darkest side on the moon. Are you still there?
Yes.
Oh, so you haven't beat it yet?
Not yet, but I've had enough of the game to know where it places on me. So that's fine. I'm confident where it is.
Okay, that's fine. You're so confident. You're so confident. Okay, let's start. Let's start with a quick review. I'm showing some gameplay from our boy Caleones when he was playing a little bit of Mario Odyssey right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. So I want to go by topic, Caleones, and we'll go what we feel. I divided it basically in 4. Graphics, controls, gameplay, and music, right? So let's start with the graphics. I got a couple of notes here that I wrote to myself so I could know where my thoughts would go. But basically, to me, Mario Odyssey is the best looking game on the Switch, no doubt about it. It looks awesome. The best part about the game is it runs consistent. to 60 frames per second. There are some slowdowns here and there, but nothing that you would say, oh my God, this game has performance issues like Breath of the Wild. But to me, the Mario moves, all the animations, they look so fluid. Every kingdom is beautiful in a sense. There's some dots in there, but I believe that 80% of all the kingdoms have their unique aesthetics, aspects of it. Really beautiful, really great to explore. So the game, again, just runs so great. They just get lost in this world. And then, of course, you know, the story, as the story goes through, I didn't put a story section here because Mario doesn't have a story. But again, with the story going through, it is really well presented through cutscenes like the one that we're watching right now, the initial cutscene of the game. So to me, graphics, slam dunk for Mario Odyssey. What do you think, Caleones?
Well, I mean, as far as the graphic-wise, of course, it's going to be, well, I'm not saying of course, but it is the best-looking game on the Switch. Like you said, it was really important for a platformer like Mario Odyssey to hit the 60 frames per second. So that was a must, and I'm so glad that they actually did so on it. The game worlds, they're big, they're expansive. You have so many different places that you can visit, and and different challenges that you can unlock post game afterwards on those same worlds. So like the game itself, if you're just gonna just run straight through it and get the required moons and just beat it, it's probably gonna be 10 or 12 hours. So it's not really a long game if you're gonna go straight through the game itself. But if you start trying to collect everything like Dantes did, I think it probably what did it take you, like 60 hours
60 hours,
like
yep.
yeah, like 60 hours to get everything on the game, and then you basically beat it again, and you're like halfway or more than halfway through getting the moons again. So
Yep.
it's a lot of complaints from people. Well, not or some of the complaints that I heard before I played the game was that it was actually taxing, getting those moons, and it was not fun. But after I played the game, it is a lot of fun. I mean, because you don't really do it the same way. There's so many different challenges, so many different things that you do to get those moons, and it gives you like different varieties. And also, I mean, if you don't want to, spend so much time trying to figure it out by yourself, you can also go to the map, and the map tells you the locations of them.
So you're going a little bit into gameplay. Let's hold that thought. Just think of the graphics. I think we both agree that
yes.
Mario Odyssey is one of the best looking, Switch games, if not the best looking Switch game for sure. Let's move to the next one. Since you touched upon it, right? Well, I'll go first with controls. I think controls is. I do want to say that the Mario Odyssey controls are great. This is the best controlling Mario of all time. Like Mario's moves so great. Where you want Mario to go, he moves, right? And to pull all the moves, you have to do it with precision. More so in the last moons that are really tough. You really need a lot of precision. So the Mario controls, great. The motion controls, I did not mind them. They were a little bit tacky here and there, but you know what? I play both ways. I play with the separated Joy-Cons, and I also play with the Pro controller. And Mario played great on both. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, the only way to play this game was separated Joy-Cons." You don't need to. Honestly, you can play with the Pro controller fine. I did all the moves with the Pro controller. It works. Yeah, it could be a little bit tougher to pull some moves that are required by motion control, but I thought the game ran fine, ran great. So no issues with that. Caleones, what do you think about the controls?
But like pretty much agreeing with you. The controls themselves. This is the most different, like different types of movesets that Mario has ever for any other game. And then not only that, but then you take over different enemies, different objects, and things like that, and you have additional movements and control types for those. So you do everything from flying to being basically a first-person shooter when you take over one of those tanks. So pretty much it covers most of the genres, from different games, just by controlling different enemies. And because of each enemy having basically its own set of moves, It's not like you're doing the same thing over and over again. So I like that each enemy, each object, each different thing gives you different moves, and it gives you a different feeling that you're controlling that you're not. I mean, it's not like a coat of paint on the enemies. Just having the same one with a different look, it actually feels different as well. So yes, it has so many different controls and so much more than any other Mario before it. So I mean, by far, it's when it comes to the type of control and how they react, then I mean, there's no comparison. It is the best one.
Yep, I agree with that. Now, with that, you touched upon it earlier in the review. Let's go with gameplay, right? So I'll start with saying I think that the sandbox open world is great. It's not open world like, normally. It's basically small kingdoms, small hubs where you could do anything around them. I mean, I find that finding moons is addictive. And also the stages are really well designed, and exploring the stages is really fun. So as you go through trying to find those moons, there's really, some of them are really well hidden. So some of them take some creative to find them. And because the worlds are interesting, it's fun to try to find all those moons. Admittedly, now I'm going to start kind of giving more complaints going forward. I kind of wish that the kingdoms were a little bit bigger. I don't know. I wish that if they were going with this exploration, I wish that the worlds were a little bit more bigger. I'm not asking Breath of the Wild bigger or Xenoblade bigger, right? I'm just saying I wish they were a little bit more bigger, a little more variety. I wish that we had more sub-stages. What I mean with that is treat the open world like a hub. And imagine if in every hub you have easily 7 or 8 sub-stages that you would go through, and that's where you would possibly put the challenge, right? Because I do feel that this game was a little bit easy. And yeah, it got a little bit tougher at the end, but I wish that the challenge wasn't hardcore, that it was not impossible. Like, I was expecting more, right? I was expecting like Mario Galaxy type of, at the end, really get some of the stars gets really tough. But no, in this game, it really was, to me, the game was easy. It just got into normal mode at the end of the game. It didn't become hard. So I wish that there was more tough stages in the game. And those sub stages could have been that, and could have taken the challenge. Or so people who gets the 900 spoilers. There's only some spoilers here to clarify. The 999 moons in the game. It's because you earn it for real, right? You feel that you achieved something, right? And this game also have an achievement system. You might not know this, but once you go to the Mushroom Kingdom, which is one of my favorite kingdoms, to clarify, you get a star for every achievement that you accomplish. So that was a fun way to implementing achievements, without having an achievement system. Come on, Nintendo, to get that achievement system already. But again, I wish the game was a little bit more challenging. I wish the stages have more sub stages. I wish the stages were a little bit bigger. I also wish that the bosses were a little bit more challenging too. The bosses were a joke. And finally, to me, the bosses you face in the rematch during the Mushroom Kingdom, and when you do everything to face Bowser again, that should have been the main boss fights. And the challenge boss fight should have been even harder, in my opinion. But again, I know I'm criticizing a lot right now. It feels like the game is fun. Gameplay is right. Let me clarify. The game is fun. Finding moves are addictive as hell. And it's one of the best Mario games of all time. Pure and simple. I just wish there was a little bit more challenge. Now to you. And one last thing. Caleones touched upon it. A lot of people complain about the length of the game. Yeah, you can beat the game 10 to 12 hours easily if you're just trying to go from start to finish. But if you really want to get the most out of this game and even try to get the most moons, you don't have to get every moon. It took me 60 hours to get everything. But if you try to do most of it, I would say at least 40 hours your first playthrough. And that to me is a damn RPG if you count for it, right? So I don't know what the whole thing, you can beat it in 10, 12. The game really opens up once you beat the game. So, saying that the game is short, I think it's injustice to this game and the amount of gameplay that is in this game. So anyway, go ahead, Caleone. What do you think about gameplay in the game?
Well, about the gameplay, I guess I'll tackle the last part of people saying that 10 to 12 hours is short. Nintendo could have easily made it that instead of having X amount of moons for you to put on the ship and being able to travel, they could have forced you to having to find all the moons that were available, before the end of the game on those stages before moving on, and that of course could have added easily another 5 to 10 hours of challenges trying to find them. So the game on its first playthrough, it could have been longer. They could have made it 20-25 hours, and then after the post game having the other unlocks. But I still like it that Nintendo left it that way because they're basically letting you play how you want it. If you want to play just to breeze through it, you can do that. If you want to go ahead and go back and get all the moons and everything else, you can do that as well. So same thing with Breath of the Wild. They're giving you a chance to play the game like you want to, and not forcing you to do certain things. So yes, you got to find a couple of moons at the beginning just so you can move from world to world, but it's a minimal amount. It's not having forcing you to find all of them. So I'm glad that they did it that way, and that's that way the game does have a good flow from beginning to end. As far as the comparing it to Galaxy, I love the Galaxy games, but I know like for me it's I prefer the Mario games to be more grounded, if I may say so. Like because on Galaxy it was more like gravity defying. You had them like going around the globes and things like that. So on this one, the controls themselves are more tight because of it, because you don't have to see Mario upside down and different things like that. So I know it's just not nitpicking, and like I'm not gonna knock Galaxy games because of it, because I mean, do you really want to have the same game over and over again? So I do like that Nintendo keeps changing, from each and every one, and in this one, allowing you to control the different animals and objects, which adds to to this game and to the different things that you can do on it. But I still my preference when it comes to the gameplay, I do prefer this one over the other Mario games, even though in that one you defer and you think you think otherwise.
Well, yeah, you and I are gonna see differently on this. I still feel that Galaxy is I can spoil this, the best 3D Mario game, Galaxy 2 to me of all time. I had the most fun with that game. I never felt a chore. I beat it with everything twice, Galaxy 2, right? And I felt both times really fun way to do it. The way how they mixed the brothers, Luigi and Mario, it was perfect balancing, right? Odyssey, I admit I'm at 547 moons right now on my second playthrough, Caleones, and I'm starting to feel like, okay, but let me push through. I'm gonna get him again. I'm gonna finish it again. I'm not saying that the game is getting boring. It's just it's becoming more of a push through to get everything again, right? I can stop. That's fine. I'm just saying that's what differentiates me in how I feel with Galaxy and Odyssey. So again, but it's like comparing, which one is better, like filet mignon or a Kobe steak, right? It's like, they're still good, two nice cuts of meat, right? So it's hard to compare. If you love Odyssey more than Galaxy, I understand it. Trust me, I understand it, because the game is really creative. And the way they change between 2D and 3D, that was a great idea. I love those stages, Caleones. And the ones that they put that are really tough to do, those are the ones that I even love anymore. Even more. I was doing today the one in Mushroom Kingdom where you're traveling and they're firing bullet bills, but then the screen moves. So if you have to stay in the black of the screen, if you go and go into the white of the screen, you fall through and die, right? So it was evading all the bullet bills, trying to stay in the screen with it, and then there's one piece that you have the old school way of like really small blocks, so you have to run through the blocks to maintain momentum so you don't fall in between the cracks. So I love that, and that's what I wish the game had more. Those moments are the ones like, damn, why they didn't do this more, right? But again, Nintendo's trying to appeal to a larger audience. I'm asking for too much, mate. I'm the minority. I'm like the hardcore. I want the game to be hard. I want the game to challenge me and make me feel the pain that I really doing the 999 moons is like a big accomplishment. But Nintendo has to appeal for everybody. So I understood. That's why I love all Galaxy. Like Galaxy was easy at first, but once you go to the post content, the post content is for people like me, and that's what I was expecting. And maybe that's where the game kind of let me down a little bit, was when everybody's saying the post content is so great. I'm like, yes, we're gonna get like Galaxy type of challenge here, and that wasn't the case, right? So that's where I struggle with it a little bit. But again, I do want to play Galaxy again if I have a little bit of break here, so I could do a proper comparison, because it's really unfair. Mario Odyssey is fresh on my mind, and Galaxy I haven't played in a long time. So again, I do want to play it again, but we'll see what happens. But still, we both agree gameplay is great, right? Let's go to music in the last category on our review. I felt, and maybe Caleones won't agree with me, but I felt this is one of the weakest Mario in music. There was some good tunes. I love the Wood Kingdom tune. I love that one. That one's like my favorite. That was added to the classics in my opinion. And I also love the Dunk City's song. The one that I forgot the name of the song. Caleones, you know it. Galaxy, the song from Galaxy, the one that is on the commercials. Anyway, love that. Even though that's a song that has lyrics, it was a great song. Like, that part is one of the best moments in the game, when you go into the festival in Dunk City and you switch to 2D and you fight Donkey Kong at the end of that stage with that music playing in the background. One of the greatest moments in video game history, in my opinion, and that's saying a lot, right? It's gonna be up there with moments like in Final Fantasy, to me. I don't want to say, but Final Fantasy VII, someone dies, and that was one of the biggest moments in video games history. I put that right there, because it's not about story impact. Doesn't mean that has to be there, right? Also, how the game presented, the gameplay shows you. That's one of the greatest moments in gaming history. But then the rest of the music was weak. Sand Kingdom music was a little bit weak. Maybe the one in the dinosaur world, Fall Kingdom. That one has good music. I want to give it credit. But I got excited every time I would hear a classic one, right? Caleones, like every time I hear something classic from Mario 1, 2, and 3, when the band was playing the old 2 Mario song, when you collect all the musicians, that was like awesome. Like, I was like, yes, this is the shit right here. And then the ending, when they put some Mario Galaxy music too on there, with orchestrated, and that's where I think Ad's Galaxy music was so great, because it was fully orchestrated, all of it. So I don't know why. It's just, to me, even I'll say this, even Skyward Sword music was better than Breath of the Wild music, because it was orchestrated. I just love that type of music. So that's where I would say that this is one of the weakest Mario in music. Doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just that I think other Mario games have done way better music than this Mario game. Anyway, your thoughts, Caleone?
Okay. No, I mean, on this one, I'm not really going to disagree. I pretty much think the same thing when it comes to the song. There's I mean, aside from the one that you were saying, Jump Up Superstar, and I mean, a couple of other tunes. There's no. I mean, I don't really remember most of them. Like, it's not songs that they stay with me. I'm probably gonna have to listen to them again. Perhaps because the other games have been around for a couple of years. Then we tend to remember those. But it's I think the one of the reasons why the songs on this ones are not as memorable is because they were mostly changing with the different things that you were doing, how you were approaching different objectives, and how you were moving like throughout the world. So it's not a tune that the level starts with and then the song plays for the entire level. So you get accustomed to to listen to it until you learn it. So I mean, that could have been one of those things in why we don't think of them being songs that's memorable, but it still had two or three songs that are probably gonna stay with us. But overall, as a soundtrack, I don't think it stands with the other games.
Yep. Okay, I think we agree on that. I think finally, let's give our final score on the game, right? If I had to review this game, I'll put it this way. I would review this game higher than Breath of the Wild. I think I gave Breath of the Wild 9.3, Caleones. I think that's what it was, right? So I think this game is a 9.5 in my eyes, right? And the reason I say that this game is higher, even though I feel that the other game has a more impact on the Switch than this game, and one of the news is going to show that today, is because...
Yeah, we're going to cover that.
Yeah, we're going to cover that. I think Mario Odyssey is a more polished game than Zelda Breath of the Wild, right? So you cannot take points away from that. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're just perfecting it even more, right? So to me, Mario Odyssey, for sure, is a 9.5, in my opinion. What is your final score, Caleones?
Okay, no, to me, this is the best Mario game ever made. Even though we had some gripes with the soundtrack, but then again, I mean that's what I feel like. If you had the same like one theme song per stage, and you had to play it from the beginning to the end without changing and listening to it, maybe we got a better perspective of how good they are and how their lasting appeal is. But overall, I just love it that Nintendo keeps improving on the formula. Yes, Super Mario 3D World was like kind of like a step back because it's not even though it's a 3D game, it's not really a Mario 3D game. It was more so like a party game. So for me, I'm just gonna join the bandwagon as most everybody else and give it a 10.
Okay, so that means that of course the final Force In Unison score is gonna be in the middle. That means it's a 9.75. If you unite our two scores, right? So it's still great score, great game. It deserves all the praise that it's getting. It's a fucking great game. So this first year of the Switch has been hot, baby. Anyway, we're done with that. We're done with the review. I'm going to keep letting the gameplay goes in the background as we speak with the news. So, Caleones, finally we're into Reggie's News Center. What is the first piece of news today?
Okay, well, and we're going to talk about the Golden Joystick Awards. Those are located in the UK, and they were just giving awards for basically the best games anywhere, for all the systems. So, Nintendo had a pretty good showing on the show, and I mean, there's probably like 20 different categories. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go through them one by one. So, Horizon Zero Dawn won for best storytelling.
Well deserved. I think it's just well deserved.
Best visual design went to Cuphead.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that too.
And if you guys haven't played that game yet, it's an amazing game. It's basically like Contra and mostly boss based. So give it a shot. Then you had the best audio, and that goes to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You had the best gaming performance, and that's for Ashley Burch on as Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn.
I agree with that too. I mean, this is kicking ass. This is a good team right now. Keep going.
This one I haven't played it yet, but our friend Boomer has, and he actually does like it a lot. Best indie game went to Friday the 13th, the game.
I don't know if I agree with that one, but because that game had so many problems at launch. But anyway, keep going, Caleones.
Okay, you had the best multiplayer game, of course. That goes to PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Yep. Yep.
Studio of the Year is Nintendo EPD.
Yep. You can't complain when you get Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey the same year.
You have best VR game goes to Resident Evil 7.
I can't complain there either.
Yep. Esports play of the year goes to Overwatch.
Okay, sure.
And it has been ruling esports, for forever. Esports team of the year, Lunatic Hay. So we don't, we don't know about that.
No, nothing.
Esports game of the year goes to Overwatch again. It's been selling like crazy since it came out. Then you have the best streamer broadcaster for Markiplier. Well, congratulations, Markiplier. You have the handheld mobile game of the year, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon.
Sure.
We have the Nintendo Game of the Year, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
We have the PlayStation Game of the Year as Horizon Zero Dawn.
Agreed.
Xbox Game of the Year as Cuphead.
Agreed.
PC Game of the Year as PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
They know we were talking about this for the Game Awards. That's why I say Xbox doesn't have any games for Game of the Year in that over there, because PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is a PC game. It hasn't come out on Xbox this year. So, and Cuphead wasn't nominated, even though it's a great game. Anyway.
Okay, so we have the Critics' Choice Award goes to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yep. Yep.
The Breakthrough Award to Ashley Burke.
Again for Horizon. Awesome.
Game that was selected to the Hall of Fame, the first Final Fantasy.
Of course he deserved it. Even though it sucks now, but he deserved it.
The most wanted game, and Dantes can attest to this, is The Last of Us 2.
It's already winning awards and it hasn't come out yet.
The Still Playing Award is the World of Tanks, and I haven't played that one yet. I should just test it out. The Outstanding Contribution to the UK Games Industry, Debbie Bestwick, MBE, for founder of Team 17, which makes Worms and other games.
Mm-hmm.
The Lifetime Achievement Award went to Sid Meier from the Civilization games.
Yep.
And the Ultimate Game of the Year to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
So let me take a moment to congratulate
First one of many,
Nintendo.
I believe.
Yep. And that's going to be more to come where that comes from.
Yep.
But it's still going to be interested how the Game Awards are gonna treat that one. But so Dantes, do you disagree with how the Nintendo games placed on this?
Oh, I agree with this is a really well made Game of the Year list. I'm happy that Horizon got their due. They won some awards, which is good. I knew it wasn't gonna beat Zelda in most of the awards this year. And Zelda, again, even I agree that I believe Zelda is Game of the Year over Horizon. So, understandable. Nintendo kicked ass this year. This is one of the best launch years of a console in history. Nintendo cannot prepare their stack of lineup really well for this year, and it shows with all those awards that they got. So, props for Nintendo. Good game show for sure, or good awards right now. And that's just the first one. There's many more Game of the Year awards, and I wouldn't be surprised Mario honestly take a couple too. So basically, it's gonna be Zelda and Mario sharing the spotlight for the award season. So
yeah, so I mean, people think of this as the holidays, but this the season for Game Awards, and this is when it gets exciting about how the different consoles, different companies perform. So and with Nintendo knocking it out of the park with their game lineup for the entire year, it's gonna be interesting how many more they get. And especially how is it going to be in between Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, because different awards they had a cutoff when it came to different games. So we'll see which ones are eligible and which ones actually win it. But moving on to the next one, and this is the
hey, we just had a new subscriber 20 minutes ago during the podcast. Want to give him a props. Shout out to Bram Bomb Gaming. Thank you for subscribing. We're back 98. After we lost one, we're back to another one.
So yeah, thank you. Thanks for subscribing. Well, and hopefully you'll stay here for more. But yes, okay. So we have the October 2017 NPDs, and we have a list of the top 20 games, top 20 selling games for the month of October. First one was Middle-earth: Shadow of War. It's a third-party game, multi-platform game. We have Assassin's Creed Origin, another multi-platform game. And then we had Super Mario Odyssey at number 3. The only thing is that for Super Mario Odyssey, the digital sales are not being counted. It's only physical
and
sales.
Only one console.
So, and only one console. So we don't know how many more.
I think Nintendo stated on their PR that Mario Odyssey was the best-selling game of the month. But again, NPD does not count digital sale on that game specifically, and Assassin's Creed is giving digital sales included in that one. Plus it's 3 games. So Shadow of War, which I'm sad to see number 1. People, you guys need to be giving this game the same shit that you're giving Battlefront 2 right now. Don't buy that piece of crap right now. Don't buy it until they fix that stuff. Do like you guys did with Battlefront 2. Stop supporting bullshit, and that game does not deserve to be number 1. Anyway, Assassin's Creed Origins also have some loot boxes in there, so it also shouldn't be there. But anyway, so
they had it to a lesser extent.
To me, loot boxes is loot boxes no matter what. So Mario Odyssey, I think, is the number 1 game if you count all that, and it's only one console basically. So.
Yeah, and only out for 4 days. Well, even though Origins launched on the same day as as Odyssey as
Yep.
well. So both of them came out on the 27th. Number 4, I'm happy to see it there, is South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Hopefully that's going to be one of those rumored games that are going to be making over to the Switch. Then you have number 5, NBA 2K18. Number 6, FIFA 18. Number 7, WWE 2K18. Number 8, Madden NFL 18. 9, Destiny 2. 10, Forza Motorsport 7. Then you start at 11, Gran Turismo
Well, don't
Sports.
go through the
12.
don't go through the whole list,
Yeah,
but I'm just gonna say that I'm
yeah,
Wolfenstein 2 kind of like I think got overshadowed by Assassin's Creed and Mario Odyssey launching the same day. I think.
yeah. But same thing, no digital sales
Yeah,
counted
that's
on
true,
that one.
but still, it sucks to see it so low. That's a game coming next year too for the Switch. So hopefully, the Nintendo youth fan base will support that game and help it grow. But still, Zelda Breath of the Wild still in the top 20. Fire Emblem Warriors also that's a little bit rough in there, but I knew that game. I don't know. I wasn't never interested on it. So again, good month, still good month for Nintendo, and that kind of setway, baby, go Caleones to hardware sales.
And hardware sales, it was actually even more interesting. So number 1 for the month of October was the Nintendo Switch. It came in at number 1, but number 2 is not the PlayStation 4. It wasn't the Xbox One. It was actually the Super NES Classic Edition, which had the number 2 spot when it came to the most sold console for the entire month. So basically, when you have the U.S. Gaming industry, they achieve hardware sales of more than 1 million units in October. But when it comes to the Nintendo 3DS and all the Nintendo systems combined with the Switch and the Classic Edition, the Nintendo sold 2/3 of the entire amount of consoles for the entire month. So once again, Nintendo's dominating. And if they make the Super NES Classic Edition available, it's going to sell much more. So we'll see if Nintendo keeps having the stock high on that. So what does that mean to you, Dantes?
No, nothing's changing. I think Nintendo's doing really well, which is great to see. Again, I'm really interested in Black Friday. It was funny, Calianes. I was Best Buy today, so they're setting up for Black Friday, right? They already put in the stacks, and there were like stacks and stacks of Switch ready for Black Friday. It had the most stock available there was the Switch. And it's not because it's not selling, to clarify. Don't come and say, oh, it's because it's stopping, it's not selling anymore. No, 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 no. I think Nintendo is like supplying a lot of Switches for Black Friday. And because it's the hottest item, companies like Best Buy is buying a lot of stock for the Switch to have it ready for Black Friday. So they had like 2 piles of Switch. One pile was only the gray, and one pile was only the blue and the red Joy-Cons. And then they had a pile of PlayStation 4 too. The sad part, and I'll send you the picture so you laugh. For the Xbox S, there was nothing. There was like 4 boxes for the Xbox S on next to those 4 piles. I don't know if they didn't buy enough Xbox S's. I think it'll be fine. The Xbox S is only gonna sell for $189. Of course, they had to lower $10 less than Sony just to try to see if they win something. But there was no Xbox X. But I think that's because it's sold out. I don't think, because that console is really expensive, I don't think Microsoft is gonna have that many in Black Friday available for people. In my opinion, right? But we'll see. But still, I think Nintendo's ready for Black Friday, and I think they're gonna win Black Friday. But we shall see. You're on mute.
And
Yeah, go back,
no,
go back. Okay.
yeah, we're gonna be. I'm here. So yeah, moving over to the next one, and this is more information about sales. This is coming from Japan. Nintendo Switch came in as the number 1 selling console. For the month, they sold basically 80,000 versus the PlayStation 4, which was in second place with 20,000. So they quadrupled the amount of PlayStations. Xbox One X came in with 1,344 in its first week in Japan. But this is something that we already discussed in the Force In Unison. The X is not really going to sell in Japan. Microsoft doesn't really sell in Japan, but we're actually glad that it sold more than 100, which the Xbox One did 121. Super Mario Odyssey was the best-selling game with 73,000 copies sold. And Call of Duty was second, 67. Then you had Splatoon 2 with 23,000 at 3. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, number 5. Then you have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, number 12. Sonic Forces coming in at number 14. And this is,
Ew.
I mean, it's a little bit interesting because it only sold, like 4,686 copies on the Switch, but on the PS4 sold 5,938. So yes, it sold 1,300 more on the PS4, but the PS4 has about 5 million consoles in Japan versus like 2.5 Switch. So it's still selling pretty good based on
Well, that game
the average
anyway.
that
That game
sold per
doesn't deserve
console.
to
So
sell anyway. That game's a piece of crap. But
yeah.
interesting though. Mario Odyssey's already sold 652K on Japan. Splatoon 2 is the game that sold the most in Japan with 1.3 million for the Switch. I mean, so I guess my question to you, Caleones, you think Mario Odyssey will surpass Splatoon, or Splatoon will end up selling more in Japan?
Well, I'm gonna say Splatoon 2 in Japan is probably still gonna be the best-selling game, but that's because it is a multiplayer game. Japanese people, they love the Pokemon type games. They love the multiplayer. I mean, even Call of Duty was second place with 67,000 because they love multiplayer games on there. Something that Super Mario Odyssey doesn't necessarily give you. But with Splatoon 2 being number one when it comes to Nintendo Switch games in Japan, I believe that pretty soon Super Mario Odyssey is going to surpass Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which has currently 802,000 copies sold over there.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I would say this: the Switch is selling so well in Japan that I wouldn't be surprised if Japan alone can carry the Switch for forever. In Japan alone, they're gonna be ended up selling like 20 million Switch consoles. But we'll see what happens. This thing is selling great. There's another news in there that they're talking about the shortages of Switches in Japan. So we get to that. But anyway, let's move to the next one.
Okay, and this rumor is coming straight from Reddit. Basically, one of the members, quote unquote, spilled the beans when it comes to Nintendo Switch titles. So they had, I mean, there was a big leak on Reddit. One of the members called Das Vergeben, however you want to call it, but that person talked about a couple of upcoming games that will be coming over. Supposedly, that member has been able to predict certain things before. So even though you can take this with a grain of salt, like everything else, but they have been I mean giving good information on games. So do you want me to cover just the Nintendo Switch games or go through the list
No,
on
no,
all
no,
of them?
let's go through the list. There's a lot of interesting stuff here. So
Okay, so yeah, so the first one is that there's going to be a Switch port for Dragon Ball Fighter Z. It's in the works and it's going to come out in the fall winter of 2018. Then they said that Soul Calibur 4 or Soul Calibur 6, I'm sorry, is currently in development for the Nintendo Switch as well as the PS4 and PC. And that Link
woo,
would be the returning
woo.
character for that game. Also, that they're saying that there's been pressure, from Nintendo towards Game Freak, for them releasing a Pokemon 8 generation and having it ready for next year. So, you heard about the rumors from Pokemon Stars, which for me is real because you have the sun, you have the moon, put them together, and that's and Pokemon Stars become Pokemon Eclipse. So for me, it's not Pokemon Stars, it's Eclipse, the one that
So,
will be
so
coming
I
out.
want to intervene quickly here, and I think the reason Nintendo is pressuring them is because they want to have a marquee franchise ready to roll next year. Because honestly, they drop all their bombs this year a little bit. I am concerned about 2018 because they already dropped all all of their bombs this year. So I understand why Nintendo's probably pressuring Game Freaks to see if they have those Pokemon games ready next year.
Yeah, but I mean, this clashes with another rumor that I'm going to talk about after this one when it comes to Pokemon. So we'll see. But then we have Metro Prime 4 that should have something revealed with some in-game footage, and that's probably going to be on the January Direct. So we already said that Nintendo should have another Nintendo Direct ready by January, which is going to basically lay out their plans for the entire year. So that way, people don't have to worry about oh, we're buying the console. All these great games out in 2017, and now they don't really have anything coming out in 2018. So this should take care of those worries. And Metro Prime 4 is something that's rumored to be shown and that is going to have in-game footage when it comes to it. Then that there's some kind of new Animal Crossing game coming out next year. We're already getting the release of the Animal Crossing game on smartphones, and it should be a pretty good way to or segue from people to go from smartphones over to the Switch version. Then the virtual console is not that it's not expected to be, or we shouldn't expect it to be like the others are. So there's going to be some subscription service connected to it, and that kind of goes with what Nintendo has said about the Nintendo Switch Online paid service and how you can play certain games and keep those games in, or one of those games in a monthly basis. So again, this one they're shooting for the stars literally with Mother 3 saying that it is real and that it is indeed coming and that it should be expected, hopefully for next year. Then they're claiming that Square Enix is working on the world ends with you 2 exclusively for the Nintendo Switch, and that Blizzard is preparing Hearthstone for the Nintendo Switch. So even Blizzard, they said not to. I mean, that they were open to making the game. They're not saying that they won't make it, so they're still looking into it. And it's, a game perfect for the Switch. So it wouldn't be a really big surprise if that did happen. But overall, Dantes, you already read through all those rumors. And what is your take from them?
That Metro Prime's not going to be ready next year. Forget about that.
No, but they're not talking about it being ready. They're talking about having in-game footage.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. I just don't want
thing.
people to think that it's coming next year. There's a lot of people who are saying it's coming next year. No, it's not coming next year. So I think Mother 3 is real. I think the virtual console is going to be shown next year. Soul Calibur 6, that sounds pretty damn realistic in my opinion. The World Ends With You 2 exclusive. There's a lot of hardcore cult following of that game in the DS. So this would be a big get. And again, with the Japanese sales that is happening with the Switch, I am fully expecting the Switch to become the RPG machine, right? So, and then if Blizzard, they do port Hearthstone, it's a big port. That shows even big companies are supporting the Switch.
Okay, well, and my last question to you, which it doesn't really address on there. What the heck is Retro working on?
They better have a game next year because, damn it, it's time. It's fucking time. It better be the greatest game of all time. But I don't know. I do. It says here that they're gonna be probably at the Direct in January, right? I'm hoping that it's true, Caleones. I really want to see the slate of games the next year because, again, for me, they released all my favorite games already in 1 year. So I'm like, oh, please, there has to be a Luigi's Mansion in there. Oh, please, Metro Prime 4 release next year, but it's not going to happen. So I know that. Oh, Pikmin, please release Pikmin next year. I don't want to play Kirby. I don't want to play Yoshi. So please, Nintendo, make sure that those games come out next year, and I'll be a happy camper for sure. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, and moving on with the next one. We have Dr. Bern Fakis, but I know I didn't pronounce it correctly. He's a general manager over at Nintendo DACH in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and they were talking or having an interview with Schwarzform discussing Nintendo games hardware and what makes them so magical. So basically, he stated that he thinks that magic is a combination of experience and the company's philosophy. Nintendo has been making toys for nearly 130 years and has been on the forefront of the gaming industry since its beginning as well. Long before the Switch and the Wii, we were setting industry standard with the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Game Boy, and games that were released for these systems, and we managed to capture the hearts of consumer. Thanks to years of experience being able to create fun gaming moments, it's practically in the DNA of our hardware and software developers. Then, he goes into more details, but addressing the Nintendo Switch specifically, stated that this is how the Nintendo Switch was developed, the first home console that can be played on the go thanks to its integrated display, even when you're not near a TV. The best example for the kind of unconventional thinking that's common at Nintendo might be Super Mario, though he's kind of an anti-hero, a blue-collar worker who's capable, but it's essentially the antithesis of the conventional superhero. But he's nonetheless had great success for over 30 years, whether it's with racing, sports, or saving princesses. There are a whole bunch of unique characters and franchises like The Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, Yoshi, and Splatoon, which embody this idea of fun and this certain kind of Nintendo magic. So, does that really encompass what makes Nintendo great and why year after year, us Nintendo fans, even when they're in a dead era like the Wii U, we still expect nothing but excellence from them?
I think so. I mean, I don't want to go into the details. What makes me a Nintendo fan is the games, pure and simple. And it's not nostalgia. Don't come with that bullshit to me. Oh, you're saying it because you play your first system was the NES. My first system was the Atari 2600. Okay, son. Yeah, I'm that old. So the reason I love Nintendo is because of their games. Mario has been awesome since the NES era. The Legend of Zelda has been awesome since the NES era, right? And then Metroid has been awesome since the NES era, right? And then you had great franchises like in the old days, Mega Man, Castlevania, all those great Ninja Gaiden, all those great games on the NES. We had a great time. And that was the magic right there. The magic was making great games. Now, those games were not made by Nintendo. I know that. I'm just saying that third party helped build the first party studios that you had with the NES, right? Punch-Out. Remember Punch-Out? Another great franchise on the NES era. That's what I like. I wish there was a new Punch-Out. Punch-Out on the Wii was awesome. A lot of people, it's sad they did not play that game. It's so sad. So I'm hoping you got F-Zero too, but and then you bring new RPGs like Xenoblade. What do you expect? Nintendo has everything on their docket. They have even a great RPG, one of the greatest RPG of all time, down in their docket. To me, that's what makes Nintendo great. Is the games.
Okay, and moving along, we have Bethesda praises Nintendo and thanks them for their support and encouragement. So, encouragement. We're not sure how in which way it came, if it was money wise or how,
yes,
but
money wise.
but we know
That's good
Nintendo,
encouragement. Trust me.
But hey, that's what we've been asking from Nintendo all along to put the money in and get those third party players into our game. So we know that Nintendo is the publisher when it comes to Bethesda games. And I'm glad that they are assuming some of the financial responsibility on those games if they don't sell as well. So that way, Bethesda does have more incentive for bringing them over. Still, people go out there, buy them, get Doom, get Skyrim, Wolfenstein 2 when it comes out next year. Go ahead and get those, and other games from other companies like LA Noire, Rime, and those get those games. But Bethesda Studio said we've been with Nintendo fans forever, and when we first saw the Switch, we couldn't wait to be a part of it. Many thanks to Nintendo of America for all the support and encouragement. So this is great to hear. Hopefully, the next tweet that we get from them is going to be, we had better than expected sales when it came to Doom and Skyrim. Hopefully, that's going to be the next one because that's the one that I wish we were going to see. So it's going to entice more third-party developers from bringing games over, and it's finally going to show the Nintendo Switch as a viable console for third-party games. But what do you think of this, Dantes?
That's good. Good relationship. We're 52 minutes in, so I'm going to go into fast-forward mode a little bit. No, that's good to hear. Hopefully, Nintendo keeps the relationship going, and more third-party will come on board. The Switch boat, baby! Go ahead, Caleones.
Yeah, I mean, if you build a great console and you put the money in, the third party will come. So with Nintendo Switch console will not be discounted this Black Friday. I don't know who asked that question. Of course, it wasn't going to happen. It's been selling out the entire year. It hasn't been out for a year yet, and the people are asking if it's going to be discounted or not. Nintendo rarely discounts their own games and systems, so this was to be expected. So don't expect the Nintendo Switch to be discounted on Black Friday. You may get something from different retailers like $10 gift card or something like that, but as far as getting the Switch cheaper, it's not going to happen.
Quickly, so we can move. But I'm just saying, what do you expect? Why Nintendo has to do it? PlayStation did not lower their price the first year they were on the market because they were the hottest item that Christmas. Why in the hell would you do that, right? I don't remember any launch console lowering their price during Black Friday when they were launching that year. So that's not gonna happen. You see it more after the console's been 2 to 3 years on the market, and then you see the bundles, and then you see the packing games and stuff like that. So no surprise.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. It's all good.
I mean, even the Wii U was a catastrophe, and it still didn't get discounted. It stayed at the same price for its entire run. Only thing that we have is the 3DS, which it got discounted because it wasn't selling well, and the Vita was about to come out, so they had to react. So it was more so a reaction than just having it cheaper for Black Friday. So, but that was survival basically.
Yep.
It wasn't that just lowering the price just for the heck of it. But yeah, moving on, we have the Time magazine has named the Switch one of the top 25 inventions of the year. So in their words, they said, when you have a great game, that moment of disappointment is when you have to stop playing. Says Regis Fils-Aimé, president of Nintendo America. And so with the Nintendo Switch, you don't have to. In one form, it's a handheld tablet allowing a single user to game on the go. In another, two controllers side from the sides, allowing multiple users to get in on the action. Once they get home, they can slide the tablet into a docking station and continue playing on the legitimate home console. Gamers seem to like the flexibility, and they have responded with the game sales. So, congratulations, Nintendo. The Switch does deserve every bit of it, of the praises that it's receiving. And Time, thank you for recognizing that.
Yep. It's a great invention. It's like today, right? Electricity went out in my house today. So what do you do? Oh, thank God, the Switch is right there. I just pulled it out. I was playing a little Mario Odyssey, killing time until the electricity finally came back on. So it's a great console, great invention. Even people like Review Tech USA, who is like a hardcore PC gamer, is saying, oh, Nintendo's Switch is becoming my favorite console of all time. It's because the form factor. The form factor is there. It's really well thought out. It is a console, but it's also portable, right? And when you're getting games with graphics like Mario Odyssey on the go, right? So I think it belongs in that list. So.
Okay, and moving along, IGN has revealed their top 25 Nintendo Switch games.
Quickly on this one.
Yes.
I think we're gonna leave this one for later. I'm gonna let you just say IGN revealed their top 25 games. Just give them the top 5, right? Well, we'll talk about this one later. We're all running a little bit late today, but I think this one kind of deserves its own video. To clarify, just to give you guys a heads up, me and Caleones, we're taking Christmas break off. We need our time to, disappear, spend time with the family and stuff like that.
And try not to get divorced.
And try not to, yeah. So with that the case, we're gonna record some videos that we're gonna have ready just to be uploaded at the time during, typical podcasts on Saturday or Force In Unison Live and stuff like that. And of course, there's not gonna be streaming Wednesdays those days. But again, we just need to, you need to regroup. It is what it is. Our real work on the real life, sometimes it can beat us up a little bit. But we will have videos like this, and I think this one belongs. Good discussion. What is the Nintendo Switch top 25 games currently, right? I haven't played 25 games to say. At least I can say 10, but we'll see. We'll go from it. But go ahead, Caleones. Give us the top 10.
Okay, top 10. And I'm guessing this is their ranking. This goes in line with what they expect from Game of the Year. So they had The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild as number 1, Super Mario Odyssey number 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at number 3.
I don't agree with that, but that's fine.
Splatoon 2 at number 4.
Don't agree with that.
And Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle number 5.
That would have been my 3. Anyway, and then I would have switched to Mario Deluxe 4 and Splatoon 5.
But of course, this is something we're going to talk about on the video before you get ahead.
That's fine. Let's move on. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, so Mario could be making his way to the big screen thanks to Universal Illumination. For you that don't know, Illumination is the same company that makes the Minions and the Despicable Me movies. And this is something that, when it comes to the Mario, yes.
I'm just saying, we're back. The gameplay video ended finally. This is how long it's been taking. Go ahead, keep going.
But yeah, when it comes to the Mario games, after of course the movie in the early 90s, and that it wasn't really a Mario movie.
Mario? Luigi Mario?
and and they're one of the Academy Award worthy performances from the entire cast.
Yeah, they're all
But
wasted during the movie.
Illumination, which makes Minions and Despicable Me, they have a great track record when it comes to animated movies. And it is said and reported by the Wall Street Journal that Mario will be making its way to the cinemas, and with the animation made by them. And something that made me a true believer that a Mario movie is viable and could definitely work was the intro cinematic from Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. When I saw the animation, when I saw Mario, Luigi, the cast, and how they move, how they look, I want a Mario movie to look just like that. Ubisoft nailed it with the look on the game, and I think Illumination is going to be the perfect company. Yes, it's not Pixar. Yes, it's not the Disney animated studios, but Illumination is right up there when it comes to animated movie. And with the quirky fun that the movies have, to me, it makes perfect sense. And of course, it makes sense as well because Nintendo does have a good relationship with Universal, extending to their parks with the Super Nintendo World coming out in 2020 as well. So of course, this was to be expected, and more was going to continue to grow. And if it did happen, it was going to be between them. But Dantes, how big is this?
I want to see it. If it's a really well movie, I'm guessing it's going to be animated, of course. And they build a good story like they done with the Secret Life of Pets and stuff like that. Man, I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to this. I'm really hopefully they keep Charles Martinez doing the voice of Mario. Oh, ravioli, spaghetti, something like that. When he's sleeping, it's funny when he goes and says that. We'll see what happens, and hopefully they build a good story. Mario never had like a great story, but like, hey, the story of Mario Odyssey was pretty cool. You can build something like that in a Mario movie. But also kind of see if Nintendo really shows where Mario comes from. Is Mario really a human that came to the Mushroom Kingdom like the old cartoons, or Mario is a Mushroom Kingdom person? It seems like he's a Mushroom Kingdom person, just a plumber from the Mushroom Kingdom. So anyway, we'll see what happens. It's interesting. We'll see. It's gonna be good. I believe it's gonna be good. So, yeah. Do the Mario.
Do the Mario.
Okay, here we go. Sorry.
Okay, and going on over with the next one. This is something that we actually discussed in great details on our Force In Unison live last Thursday, which should have been on Tuesdays at 9:30, but for unforeseen reasons we had to postpone it. But they have revealed their Game of the Year's nominees, and among them are The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn, and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So we already talked about how which one we feel that's going to be.
Yes, good feel.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much for the most part, four out of those five do belong there. The fifth one, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, does not. I stated personally because the game hasn't even come out. It's in early access. It has 0 reviews on Metacritic. And yes, they're selling the game, but it's early access. It's not a complete game yet. So it shouldn't be here. It should be moved over to the 2018. But this event is being hosted on the Microsoft Theater, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Put some money down the table.
But what do you feel about this, Dantes?
Just quick summary too. Breath of the Wild has 6 nominations with Odyssey 2. Odyssey has another 6. Horizon Zero Dawn has 6, and Destiny 2 has 6. So those 4 games were the most nominees. Again, 3 out of those 4 games I agree with deserving that many nominations. It's been a great year for gaming. I like this year a lot, right? And if Xenoblade Chronicles ends up like the previews are stating, Caleones, this could turn out to be one of my favorite gaming years of all time, right? So we'll see what happens. Interesting.
Well, so far, what I hear from reviews when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is that the only thing that's going to knock the game down are its boobs.
What? Really? Are we doing that whole social justice warrior shit right now?
Yes, a lot of people are doing it. If you go to places like, they're still surviving NeoGAF or Reset Era, they're still talking about, how we're, the whole sexism and things like that. So that seems to be the only point against it. Hopefully it's not going to be enough to knock the game down, but
there's going to be an idiot out there that gives it a 3 to help the Metacritic because he's sexist.
Yeah, that's it's a Japanese game. It's a Japanese game. That's how their culture is, and yes, it is different from the U.S. and our culture. But you can't really knock down a game from being made under the constraint of his own culture. So if it doesn't take away from the story, it doesn't take away from the what the characters go through, and your experience with the game itself, then why should it take away from the actual score of the game? Uh,
Yeah,
but
we'll leave that one when the reviews come out. I think we're gonna have a hot get in and get out to discuss for sure. So anyway, keep going, Calian.
okay. Yeah, they had an announcement that EU, European retailers are going to be receiving Nintendo products closer to release date than before. So instead of just shipping the products over and having them stay longer, it's going to be closer to the release date. And one of the things that's the cost for this, because most of the time when you hear about a game breaking the release date being sold before, and people having access to streaming games and things like that before they're supposed to, is because they got it from one of those UK retailers and they sold it to the people before the date itself. So in a way, they're trying to keep games from being out there, or ROMs being out there weeks before the official launch. So that's one of the things companies got to worry about is piracy. Another one is about having stories, gameplays, and things like that ruined. And Nintendo is trying to do it that way by sending the games closer to launch for those retailers. So, your feelings about this?
That's fine. I mean, it really doesn't affect me at all if Nintendo decides to do this or not. I really don't care. Maybe it's a little bit better for so there's no spoilers. Lately, it's really hard to not get spoiled in now and today, and that's why I'm so disconnected with the new Star Wars movie. Like I'm not watching anything, like anything. Everybody knew the big death that happened in episode 7, right? And everyone was pulling that shit up the ass just to make other people get mad and pissed. That's how people are out there. That's people like to make other people mad. They enjoy it. Some people enjoy it. Yeah. Like right now we have a dislike, and lately we've been getting a dislike in every video, at least one, right? I suspect who it is. I'll talk to Caleones when the podcast is over. So if we hurt your feelings, we're sorry. Whatever we did, we're sorry.
And we'd like for you to share it on the comment section. We're here to discuss. We're here to explain certain things, and of course, all of us, we all have different point views. Even Dantes and I disagree when it comes to certain things. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. He's more. He loves Nintendo, but he is more pro Sony than Nintendo. And we all have our different views. We try to keep try to be centered as much as we can. But of course, at the end of the day, you have your own personal feelings, and that's why we're doing this podcast. Because of our love to the company itself. So if there's anything that you disagree with us, please share it. Tell us about your own point of view, and we can go ahead and have a discussion or a conversation out of it.
But it's all good. If you want to dislike the video, just keep giving us that view. Just keep giving us that view. Go view it and dislike it, and hey, thank you at least for disliking us. That's something. We got our first hater. It's just a couple of haters. Anyway, it's all good.
Thank you for watching the video, and even if you dislike it, that's what you think. So I'm not gonna judge your point of view.
Exactly, we're in the same boat. Anyway, go to the next one, Caleones. Basically, the wrap up where kind of the new games are coming down the pipeline. Go ahead, Caleones.
So we have, there's actually a new version of Minecraft that will be coming to the Nintendo Switch next year, and it seems to be somewhat different than the one that's already out. Nintendo does have the Minecraft Nintendo Switch version out, and it's going to be receiving an update, which is called the Super Duper Graphics Pack, which was slated for this year. It seems like it's going to be pushed for next year, but they stated on Minecon separately, the Nintendo Switch community will still be getting the new version of Minecraft with cross-platform multiplayer, but not until 2018. Nintendo has been a great partner, and we're really excited to fully bring Switch players into the fold. However, we need to make sure we deliver the best experience possible, so the new version of Minecraft will now be coming to Nintendo Switch next year. Xbox One, PC, mobile, and Nintendo Switch all playing multiplayer Minecraft together in 2018. So again, Sony deservedly is out of the fold until they actually comply and hopefully come together, not only on this one, but on other games like Rocket League as well. And we can have one big happy family all together. But yeah, don't worry, even though we didn't receive the super duper graphics upgrade yet, it's going to come out next year. They're making sure that it looks the best possible on the system. So, props to them for still going all out for us.
Yep. I don't like Minecraft, so you can move on.
Of course, yeah, because PS4 no cross platform. But
Sure.
moving on to the next
it,
one.
Could, it could be cross-platform play with Atari 2600, and I still wouldn't care about Minecraft. But keep going.
Okay, so we have a Super Smash Brothers style game, Brawlout, will be launching this year or later this year. Which I mean, we have like a month and a half left. So from now until the end of the year, the game's going to be launching. Brawlout. It is similar to Super Smash Brothers. If you guys have the video, or go to the YouTube page, you can see all of it, and it looks really fun. It looks really responsive, and it seems like it's going to be a great alternative until there's a Smash Brothers version on the system. And they have the main character from Hyper Light Drifter. It's part of the game as well. Dantes on this one. I have already inquired about the review codes for the game. The company's already in contact with me, and I've been put on the list. So hopefully, once those review codes become available, I'll be able to play the game, upload gameplay, and if depending on if there's an embargo or not, I might be able to even stream it so people can see the game before it comes out and make a judgment if they want to get it or not. And also, I can review it for our channel and let them know if it's a worthwhile experience. So, your thoughts about the game?
That's fine. I mean, if it's plays like Smash, it could be fun. We'll see if you get the review code. Maybe something that's been interesting to play against each other. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay, and we have Max, the Curse of Brotherhood, coming to the Nintendo Switch on December 31st. It's an Xbox One title, and we'll be seeing a release on the system. And the game itself is going to cost, $15. So it's a cinematic adventure filled with action-packed platforming and creative puzzle solving. And it's the other title character is armed with a magic marker and must confront evil at every turn in a hostile and fantastical world in order to save his kid brother Felix. So the game promises exploration of a strong, stunning, beautiful world with handcrafted levels. Run, jump, climb, and swing through another world in a tightly tuned platformer. Shape the elements to your will with the power of the magic marker, and it is a heartwarming story of monsters, magic, and brotherly love. So that's another game to look forward to before before Christmas Day for the Nintendo Switch.
Okay, again, Switch getting games. Get him those games, baby. Caleone, that was a huge Reggie's News Center. Damn, we had even more news than CNN. But I think it's time to move on, Caleones. But if I wanted to know what is the best games coming for the Switch, which store should I go to buy those games, Caleones?
Well, it's Shigeru's Mini Market, which with this week, it's actually making it a really big one. We have 17 different games and a couple of them knocking it out of the park. So when it comes to selecting a game of the week, it's almost an impossible feat to try to do it on this. So let's talk about all the games that are coming out. So you have Aces of Luftwaffe, Luftwaffe. Not sure how to pronounce the squadron.
Move on.
We have Jinger Beyond the Crystal. We have Green Game Time Swapper. We have Rive Ultimate Edition, Vive, Xenoraid, Neo Geo's Karnov's Revenge, Antiqua, Lost, Ben 10, It'll Do 2 Plus, and then we have and those are the some of the games. So now the big ones, in my opinion. So you have Rocket League came out this week. Rhyme came out this week. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 came out this week. LA Noir came out this week. Batman, the Telltale series as well. And the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, as well as Snipper Clips Plus Cut It Out Together. So, Dantes, which one is your game of the week?
You didn't mention LA Noir. Did LA Noir was mentioned? Is it coming this week?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay. So, LA Noir, I played on the PS3. Great game. If you haven't played it as a Switch owner, I recommend it. It's a great game. I plotted it. Go ahead. You deserve to play. And they changed the gameplay a little bit, so expect some
Yes.
changes. Batman, the Telltale series. You know, I gave high praises when I played on the PS4 this year. It was a great story. There was some plot holes, yes, but they changed a lot of me thoughts I was surprised. I got caught off guard plenty of times with a couple of plot twists, right? So, great game. I did buy Skyrim. I've never played Skyrim. I bought it to support some third party on the Switch. So they show that we're interested in seeing more games on the Switch. And I think Skyrim will be perfect to play little here, little there, like I'm doing with Mario and Rabbids. And then Rhyme, play it also on the PS4 this year. Again, at first I wasn't feeling that game, but that ending, I'm just gonna say that ending, it's magical. Let me put it that way. So Snipper Clips, I play Snipper Clips. It's just the DLC basically, but they also come out with the physical, which is sad. I wish I would have waited for that one. I like a physical game, so it is what it is. But great week. Caleones, to me, Rocket League, of course. To me, game of the week, it's a tie between Rhyme and LA Noir. I haven't played Skyrim, but a lot of people love Skyrim, so it's a lot of ties in that bunch.
And you got Skyrim, so you got Skyrim right
yeah,
now.
I do have Skyrim. It came, yeah.
So, but I mean, for me, I got Rocket League, so that one's I'm trying to learn it. Still haven't mastered it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not broadcasting and I mean like doing a live stream of the game, because I still suck at it. And so that's one of the ones that hopefully in the next couple of weeks you will be seeing it. I mean, if you see it, it's because I feel confident of me playing it.
Hey, quick shout out to Arrow Master, always support. And he's a big Xenoblade fan, so that's why he's already a good dude in my book. So I know he's really pumped for Xenoblade. Arrow Master, if you want to go back and see the show earlier, we did give an in-depth review of Mario Odyssey. But thank you, peeps. Thank you for your support. That's what matters here. Thank you. Anyway, keep going.
And Arrow Master helped me out as well. Teamed up with me last night so I could climb up and get the king ranking on Splatoon 2 on the Splatfest. But I mean, I can't really say. Rhyme is going to be arriving for me this Tuesday, which I got the physical copy on the Switch. So that one is going to be coming in on Tuesday. And as soon as I can, I'll be picking up LA Noir, Batman the Telltale series, and Skyrim as well. So that's going to be on my to-do. But from the reviews that I've been reading and everything, I can't really choose what game will be the top one for the week. All of them are going to be up there. So it's a great week for Nintendo, and this is what I want to see going forward. It's not going to be every week like this, of course, but if Nintendo keeps selling, if those games continue to sell on the Switch, we are going to continue seeing this happen. And of course, the more people that get the Nintendo Switch, the more chances these games are going to have to sell on them. So yeah, just continue supporting the companies if they're going out of the way to make a great gaming experience. And from everything, it sounds like this is what they're doing. Rockstar, Bethesda, they're going all out with making these games not only look great but play great on the Switch. So just give it a shout out to those third-party developers going all out.
You got it. Of course, today we won't have a Numa's Nintendo discussion because we spent it talking about Mario Odyssey. Odyssey, yes. Anyway, let's end the show tonight. We had a little bit of fun. We had our hater coming around, but we still had a little bit of fun, baby. Anyway, are you good, Caleones? Anything to say before I end this, baby?
No, I mean, not going to end. I'm probably just going to jump in after this and just play a little bit more on Splatoon 2 while I talk to you. So I'm not going to be doing a live stream. I'm just going to join in, and if anybody wants to, just join in as well. I'm still going to be capturing messages on the live stream even after it's ended. So hey, if you guys want to play a little Splatoon 2 before Ed, let me know.
Of course, I'm already rocking out because I put some Xenoblade music. Damn, that music, that soundtrack, Caleones, is already sounding awesome. A couple of more tracks came out, and I was like, oh man, this game's gonna kick ass. If you social justice warriors give this game a lower score because of boobs, I'm gonna hunt you down. Anyway, aside from that, let's end this. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight at the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 24, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Of course, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy MFs happy. Also, please remember that if you don't want to see our ugly faces, hey, Caleones and I, we got a solution for you. Go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. I'm going to get caught up this weekend. I promise. We're 2 episodes behind. But I will promise that tomorrow or Monday at the latest, because I'm on vacation this week, we'll get up to date with downloading this podcast so you guys can get it on SoundCloud and iTunes. Also, we do have a Facebook page called @Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and on this, finally, go to chiguerosnews.com and give some click and love to my boy, Caleones. With all that said, thank you again for joining us. Long live Nintendos. Good night, everybody.
Hey, have a good night, everyone.
Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe.